I'm Doug.
And I'm Cathy. And this is Maggie Mae.
Join us as we follow the moon. Welcome to San Benito, Texas. We are down here in the southern tip of Texas. And when we came to this area, one of the places that we had heard had a really neat character and culture was San Benito. So we want to show you around the mix of old, new, tradition, everything that you'll see and expect in San Benito.
Come along.
Now, this is the main street of town, and as you look through San Benito, there's a lot of old historic buildings. Not all of them are in use, but we're going to show you some of the incredible things in this little town. And at first glance, it looks like kind of a sleepy little town, but the more you get into it, the more you find out.
That's right.
Just even driving past on 69E, you'll see the water tower with Freddy Fender up on it. We had no idea when we came here, but this was his hometown.
Yeah.
And because it's his hometown, this is one of his homes. It's actually the site where he was born. That home is no more, but this one is still there and is actually a family member of his, we understand, lives there. I love the big long porch on the right-hand side. You've got the one down front, but the entire right-hand side up top is all open. It's really neat. And that's not the only tie-in with music. This is the Aztec building, and it's now the home of the Conjunto Music Hall of Fame. This is a must-see.
It absolutely is.
It's just phenomenal. This is a family business, and when you walk in the door, you can immediately see the pride that's taken in this. This was a man's dream, and when he passed, his family has gotten together and just got this building. They've been moved into it for about a year now, and they've set up a recording studio, the sound booth, there's a gift shop, there's a record store. This lady is his daughter, and she took us through here. No special treatment for us because of the channel. She took us through here and gave us an outstanding tour of everything that there is. The Conjunto music it's a gathering of two or more, and that came from the mixture of the accordion from the German polka style music with the 12-string guitar from the Spanish music, and it is a very happy sounding music.
This was definitely the place to be if you were a musician.
Absolutely. Now that recording studio that they have made up there, they have all of the equipment that they basically could press their own records there in the day. It's quite a setup. Every one of these people that you see in frames are members of their Hall of Fame. And they do a Hall of Fame induction ceremony every year here to bring more of the greats of their heritage music. That is actually two of the old record presses, one for 45s, one for 33s, that have been donated now to the museum. And those were the labels that went in the middle of the records once the vinyl was pressed.
Yeah.
They have this nice little stage that is a replica of a front porch there in town where musicians used to gather and play. And they've recreated that back here in their little concert room.
And people come in and play for them there.
Mm-hmm.
It's so amazing when you think of the history just in this little building.
Absolutely. And they celebrate all of their musical heritage. The La Villita, I can't say it.
Villita?
Yes. It is a dance hall that's located nearby. We'll show you in a moment. But they even have a room here that's all Freddy Fender memorabilia, one of his costumes. But yes, the town is definitely the home of the Conjunto music. And the Aztec building is amazing.
Yeah,
They only have the lower level of the building at this point, but up on the third was an open air.
Dance?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
So this is the La Villita, and this was kind of the birthplace of where the Conjunto music movement started. And it was not open while we were there, but it's only about 2 blocks away from the museum. And just down the street from the museum is a bakery that is definitely very special.
Yeah, I think we've been there 3 times now.
And this building itself is on the historic registry, which is why we went in, just to see the historic building.
Yeah.
But then you look at this. They have 4 of these big glass cases, and they are filled, and they go through them. From what we understand, they're baking it before the sun comes up, and then they start again in the afternoon because they get a big rush after school. That's what we brought home, and everything
first
was
time.
yeah, and everything was out of this world. Now, right downtown beside the railroad tracks is the Veterans War Memorial. And this was built during San Benito's centennial. So it's just a few years old. The monument, the memorial up front are beautiful. And as you walk on back through the park, there's a nice covered area. You'll see the soldier there. And then this is at the very back of the memorial.
It's so beautiful.
Now, from those railroad tracks is where a lot more of the historical part of this town comes from. There's a lot of older buildings. Right down along those railroad tracks, you'll see the Hollywood Club, which has been there since 1934. Just across the road from it, this looks like an old warehouse, and it's known as the Alexander Marketing Building, and it was a produce and citrus warehouse and distribution. You can see the oranges there above the door. This one caught our eye. Old lettering that's all worn off the metal says Electric Gin Company. It was cotton gin. Right beside that is their old water filtration plant. This building is huge. It was the Stonewall Jackson Hotel.
It was beautiful too.
Very.
The architecture was pretty amazing.
Now, this complex was their junior high and high school. They have new schools now outside of the town, but a huge complex.
It was huge.
Their stadium was enormous. This was their old post office right on the main drag. It's now one of the city office buildings. But that was actually built right around the time that a major hurricane had went through the area in 1933. that hurricane, anything that was wooden structure pretty much went down from what we've found. This is a old First United Methodist Church. This one is the Presbyterian Church. This one was a wood structure building that was lost in the hurricane, and this building was rebuilt in 1934 and was actually done with a federal loan grant. It was the first time that had been used for a church. This one is St. Benedict's Catholic Church. This is kind of a must-see in the area. It's
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Gold dome up on the top of it. It is just a beautiful, beautiful structure. Now, if you notice those graceful curves around the front of the cultural center, it's like the side of a guitar.
Yeah.
This gentleman, his last name is Robertson, and he was the founder of the area. But the cultural center that looks like a guitar on the outside was actually hosting a special art presentation, and they do call it a cultural center rather than an art museum.
Yeah.
Because it's not always artwork. Sometimes it's music, sometimes it's a play, but there's something going on here reflecting the culture of the area all the time. Right now, it's Castilian roses, and these are all local artists and their interpretations. I took a picture around this because the whole back of that is all made out of shells. This is really a great way to introduce yourself to the local culture, the local flavor.
Absolutely.
It lets you see and understand a lot more of what makes this place unique.
And what's important to the people.
Absolutely. That's made to resemble the surface of the moon. The first one there is all glass. That was beautiful. That was at the very end of the building, and the colors on it were, and there's actually little jewels you can see twinkling in it. And there's different work on the smaller size, on the larger size, some that are much more creative and interpretive. I like that just because it was colorful and it made me hungry.
Oh, you're so bad.
And this was done by an artist that does a lot of things out of reclaimed wood and such. This was beautiful, this piece of pottery. It's new, but it was made to look old. It has a crack in it, and it has a poem on the side of it. I shot that one from the side to let you see that it's not all a flat picture. There's depth to that one.
And these are all about the Virgin de Guadalupe, who wasn't just a religious figure, but also a cultural figure for the people.
Mm-hmm. We actually had a guided tour on this one. We had a a young fellow from the museum who took us through and gave us a little insight into each of these. As you leave the building, the structure on the right beside it, is the oldest library in town. So Cathy, we end up our video today back at the old water filtration plant. What did you think about our time in San Benito?
This was very cool. There's so much history here.
There is, and there's so much that they still do everything the old way. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
That's right.
A lot to be said for that.
Absolutely.
So with that, we hope you've enjoyed our time in San Benito as much as we have. If you have liked the video, leave us a thumbs up. We certainly appreciate that. And at the end of every video, we'll leave a button up in this corner. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell so you'll know about all of our new videos as they come along.
And as always, thank you for following us as we follow the moon.